What is going on, my friend? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking biceps. How do you grow the freaking biceps? What movements do I need to do? Well, in this video, I'm showing you 5 movements that you've got to be including if you're serious about growing those freaking arms, them biceps. Let's get into the video. Hey, can someone teach me how to be funny? I don't know how to be funny, guys. Welcome to today's video. Let's get right into it. 5 bicep movements that I'm going to be doing in my off season so I can grow these freaking arms. Today is a bicep video. We'll be getting into a tricep video, and I'm actually gonna be doing a training series on my top 5 exercises for each of my body parts going into the future, and this just happens to be the first one. Well, because after my show this past weekend, well, 2 weekends ago at this point, I looked at my physique and said, hey, I'm really proud of the physique that I brought to stage, but I would like to bring up my arms, my biceps, my triceps, and also my calves. So these are areas I'm gonna be working on in my off season, and I'll be prioritizing some very specific movements here. So before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, dropping that first like, dropping that first comment, and if you've been around for a while, thank you for giving me your trust and your time. And I don't know if I said my name, but my name is Brian Acosta of shreddedforlife.com. A quick anatomy lesson before we get into these movements. So the biceps, really 3 muscles you gotta pay attention to. We've got the brachii, which is the bicep muscle itself, splits into the long head on the outside and the short head on the inside. And if I flex my arm, you can actually kind of see a split here. So kind of view your bicep, guys, as 2 muscles split down the middle. Sometimes we can look at this ball and be like, oh, that's just one, that's the bicep. Well, no, it's the brachii split into the long head and the short head, and we do very specific exercises to target each side. And then there's also the brachialis, which is actually under the brachii, under the bicep muscle, that really does contribute to your arm thickness. So that can't be ignored either, because that's gonna directly reflect how big your freaking arms look, okay? To put it in Don Mazzetti terms.
That's some God level lighting right there.
The first movement that we're doing is a bicep overloader. Guys, no matter what exercises we're doing, no matter what body part, there is a blanket understanding that we need to get enough training volume, and the intensity has to be there. We have to tear down the muscle fibers, create those micro tears in the muscle, so when we leave the gym and we sleep and we eat, we've given it enough of a reason to grow. So I like starting out the gate training my biceps with something that's freaking intense, that's overloading. I warm up my arms before, so that's not in this video, but I'll do some curls, I'll do some cable curls, really light, like 5 to 10 pounds, guys, in the 20 to 30 rep range, and that'll take like 10 minutes or so. And then I will work up to the weight that I am showing you. It's important with biceps, guys, to focus on a supinated grip. This is a pronated grip. This is a supinated grip. It contributes to elbow flexion, and we target our biceps when we are in a supinated grip. So I'm starting with a straight bar curl, heavy, overloading the biceps right from the get-go when I'm fresh with, excuse me, 3 sets of 10. But wait, after the first set, and the second set, and the third set, I'm doing a drop set, which means I am immediately, without any rest, dropping the weight on this first exercise, and I'm going into a drag curl, which a drag curl, as you were seeing, you pull the weight towards you, you force the elbows back, which actually targets the outer portion of the bicep, your long head, which will contribute to, hey, you're out with friends, you're out to dinner with your girlfriend, and you get a comment about your biceps in a t-shirt, it's because they're looking at that freaking long head. So it's important to target that long head, and I like to do that right from the get-go as well with the overloading movement to start. So drop set into the drag curl, and I go drag into a full curl, and that motion is continued for the first exercise. Exercise number 2 is focusing on the short head of the bicep. So when I come out like this, you see right here, I actually got a scratch right here. I was moving some stuff in a U-Haul yesterday. This is where we target the inside of the bicep, the short head. So think When you're out, you're targeting the inside, and when you're coming in, you're targeting the outside. I'll say that again because it's opposites, it's confusing. Curling with a supinated grip outwards and turning up targets the inside of the bicep. Just do that right now. Actually, like do it watching this video. Flex and curl up. You feel the inside, the short head of the brachii. You're curling in, you're targeting the outer head of the brachii muscle. So this is what I hit on the second exercise. And the last set, I do a drop set, which a drop set, guys, is without rest, you lower the weight around 25% from what you were doing and continue, try to hit the same amount of reps. Exercise number 3 is targeting the long head of the brachii. So I'm coming in with bicep curls. And guys, at this point, this is where I actually lighten the load. So the intensity comes down in the workout, but I'm still able to push for hypertrophy, those micro tears in the muscle, and shuttle blood into the muscle. So here, you can see that I'm doing more reps with targeting the long head of the brachii. If I continue trying to do 3 sets of 10, I can, but I know myself personally, and many will compromise form at this point because your biceps are fatigued. So what I like to do is get more bang for my buck and increase the rep range as I continue through the workout and still bring the volume necessary. It's just lowering the intensity. So 15 to 20 reps here, targeting the long head, coming inside with a supinated grip. Bicep movement number 4 is bottom half and top half curls. And my gym bros out there, my 17-year-old, 18-year-old dudes, we all know what 21s are. We all know. You finish arms and it's like, you want to do 21s? Yeah, let's do 21s. And you grab a straight bar and you're just like, 7 full, 7 half, 7 top half. Well, that's actually based in science. You're really targeting the peak difficulty of the movement, which is halfway through the bicep movement. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. So by squeezing the dumbbells, and guys, through all these movements, squeeze the freaking dumbbells. Squeeze, it's all about that mechanical tension. So when I go halfway, I'm really targeting the bottom of the motion, which another way we can target the bottom motion of the bicep curl, which is the easiest, is to do an incline curl, but we didn't do that here. We can actually do the bottom half and really focus. And I do 5 reps bottom, come to the top. The top is also the easiest part right up here, difficult through the middle. I target the top half, really squeezing 5 reps there for a full set of 20 back and forth. Guys, the last exercise is an overhead cable curl, and I like to do the overhead cable curl. It targets primarily the short head, the inside of the bicep, because I noticed that the mechanical tension throughout the movement is more consistent. We know that with biceps, it's really hardest through the middle of the movement, and I like to finish with these because I can control the load better on the cable, drop it really quickly, and also the load is more consistent, right? It's the difficulty I find is a bit more consistent through the beginning of the motion to the middle of the motion and the end of the motion. This bicep workout can be completed simply with some dumbbells, a barbell, and a cable, which can be completed in pretty much any gym, a 24-hour fitness, wherever you go. So something else I will quickly add that is kind of beyond the scope of training biceps is I like to finish biceps also with a heavy hammer curl with a slow negative. I did not film it, and this targets actually the brachioradialis, which is like the forearm muscle right here, this big freaking behemoth of a muscle. We use that, the brachioradialis, to really, because we're not in a supinated grip, when we come this way, we start targeting the brachioradialis, we can lift heavier. So you'll notice you can hammer curl with a neutral grip, more weight, about 15% or so more weight than doing a bicep curl. Well, it's because you're bringing in the brachioradialis. What I like to do is curl up heavy weight, like the 60s or 70s, and then switch to a supinated grip and come down as slow as I can to work that negative. And that is a great way to finish a bicep workout, but I did not include it because technically we're bringing in some forearm training, which will be in another video. So guys, quicker video for you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did enjoy it or have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe if you are not, and I will see ya in the next freaking video. Peace.
Tell me what's on your mind.